Well, well, well. We return to Star Trek. Star Trek Beyond's really good. It's a good movie, and that's what we're watching. So I don't know if there's multiple versions. I never know if there's multiple versions. But mine is 2 hours, 2 minutes, 21 seconds. So hopefully everybody's is the same. That seems important. Star Trek Beyond, I think it's definitely the best Kelvin movie. And personally, I'd say it's my second favorite Star Trek movie overall, right behind the Whale one. Because, I mean,
My digital
whales are
copy is
pretty
that
good.
time as well.
Excellent, good. Hey, Mark, do you think Star Trek Beyond would be better if it had more whales in it? Because that's one thing this movie is lacking. Like, it's really, really good. I really like the Enterprise references, but where are the whales?
By all the stars in the Milky Way, yes, indeed. The melodic songs of the humpbacks could soothe even the Klingons. Sci-fi and cetaceans, a combo as delightful as Missouri and apple pie.
But Mark, there's no Klingons in this movie. Are there? I don't remember Klingons. There's Idris Elba. He's not a Klingon, though. I don't know. He's making stuff up. Doing Mark stuff. And then once we finish Beyond...
Just the Beastie Boys.
Are they Klingons? I know they have a Star Trek song. Well, actually all I know is they mention Spock at some point in one song. But there's probably Klingons in it. But after Beyond, we're going to move into Discovery. And then after Discovery, probably Prodigy, just because that's actually coming to an end. Like, Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds are still going. And I don't know when the last season of Lower Decks is going to come out. So I'm buying time with Prodigy. Prodigy's alright. It's okay. Definitely a kid show, but it's fine. Anyway, how about that weather? Hey Mark, how's the weather?
I would love Prodigy to have season 3, but I'm not holding my breath.
Why, it's
Yeah,
as
I don't
unpredictable as a tribble's breeding habits. Sun shining 1 minute, then a storm blows in like a hull breach on the USS Enterprise.
Interesting, Mark, interesting. Yeah, it seems very unlikely that Prodigy's going to be renewed, considering they already canceled it once and sold it to someone else. Seems unlikely. If it comes back, we'll do a season 3 thing. Lower Decks is definitely ending, though. That's really sad. Lower Decks, when it got announced, I figured it was going to be one of those, like, yeah, I'll watch it because I just sort of like out of obligations, like it's because I'll watch all Star Trek. But no, Lower Decks turned out to be like one of my favorite shows. Lower Decks is awesome. Prodigy I ended up feeling that way with, where I'll watch it, but I'm kind of like, whatever. But to be fair, it is also literally for children, so I'm not exactly the target audience. But even then, it's alright. It's fine. I assume children find it excellent. Soma, are you a child?
No, but I'm young.
Do you have a child?
No.
Does your inner child like Prodigy?
Not at that stage yet.
Soma, tell me what you think about Prodigy.
Oh, it is quite good.
Okay. See, he is a child. I knew it.
Not long until we can watch season 2.
Yes. Is it? I assume it's this year, right? Probably before Lower Decks? Or now, if you're French.
Yeah, it'll be this year. Yeah, they've announced the date that it's coming out.
Hang on, let me look this up. I have 20 seconds. Everyone be queued up for Beyond.
July 1st.
Oh, July 1st. Oh, Wikipedia says the whole thing is July 1st? Like they're just dropping it all at once? Alright. Alright, everyone, let's play on Beyond in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And let me know if we want the squirrels back instead of the blurred screen. Okay, the show didn't actually play. Dang it. Hang on. Start it back up. 1 minute countdown. Dang it. I pressed play, but I pressed space to play it, but I guess I didn't have the window in focus. I did press it in time. But anyway, yeah, so that was really weird. Why for season 1 did they split it in half? What was up with that?
Yeah, that was interesting. That's not outside the realm of what has been done.
But the whole point of a season is that it all comes out as a batch. That's just season 2, if you split it up like that. It's
Hey,
cheating.
guys.
It's illegal.
Hello.
Yeah, but if you split it up, the people have to stay subscribed longer.
True. Okay,
That
I got the
was
window
paramount
focused.
for YA.
Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Or
Okay.
Netflix.
I started it. It's going. We did it.
Okay. You know, Ryan, I thought you were wrong when you said this was like the best Kelvin movie, and then
Excellent.
I kind of rewatched it. It really is cinema and filmmaking at its finest.
Plus, it has a
Like,
bunch of
they-
Enterprise references, which is a great show
Yeah.
and doesn't get enough love.
Xindi War.
There are
Lost
bits about that which
millions.
don't make sense in this film if the timeline is the same before. Then Simon Pegg says, change it before and after the events, which also doesn't
Right.
really make sense.
Because of course it
Right.
does. That makes total sense.
That's the part where
With
you
how
don't
much
worry
the
about it.
characters time travel, yeah, if the characters are different, the time travel stuff is going to be different, the past is going to be altered.
It's same but different. You know, like Admiral Marcus, and sorry, not Admiral Marcus, Admiral Pike.
Admiral Marcus got his head squished.
Well,
What happened to Admiral Marcus?
He got
Or his
murdered
head
by Khan.
squished.
He was the head explode guy.
Oh, head explode.
he got turned into RoboCop.
He got Oberon martelled. RoboCop got shot in the
Pedro
head and
Pascal?
had his hand shut off.
They slightly
Uh,
remodeled the Enterprise
Pedro
at the start
Pascal.
of the film, and then
As is tradition.
later on.
Yeah, every JJ movie has a different Enterprise.
We get
So does
Oh,
the
really? I didn't
show.
know
It's always different.
one amazing thing cinematically about this movie, it's one of the best uses of scale because you never know that this villain, this
I
bad
really
guy-
appreciate how big, I said this before, but I still really appreciate how big the Enterprise actually feels in these movies compared to the
Right.
shows.
Right. I agree with that. But this one scene, you know, where those villains look so intimidating, and then it turns out it's as small as a puppy.
Well, I don't know if I'd call
Um,
them intimidating in any case. They look a little...
I don't know. I was scared. They scare you quite a bit. But
Also, there's
And-
I say a bunch of outtakes. Really, it's just one outtake where Chris Pine absolutely cannot pronounce the word Fabonin. He tries like 30 times.
that's funny.
This CG doesn't look very good.
I like.
Didn't age very well.
No, I think they're really cute aliens when.
You are.
I love the switcheroo here.
Kirk,
He
did you
looks
bring a
massive, and
phaser?
then-
Can we stun the ambassador? Oh, did he just try to
Two-handed.
hammer fist the ambassador? I think
Yep.
he did. Oh, by the way, the things we're counting is like the first movie, noted references to old Trek.
Mm.
I'm going to say 1 for hammer fist.
Also, one thing I guess I didn't like about this opening when I watched it the first time was that the other movie had already we were running from the red and white face painted aliens, and I was like we already established this, kind of boring.
That's a
Oh,
reference.
there's yes. Puns in my Star Trek.
Hey,
Is that a
I don't know if this is
reference?
a me problem.
There's a reference to the
think this is a
previous
you-
movie.
Anyway, yes, Ryan.
Ryan, we only have on the timer, there's only audio on the right channel.
What?
Or no, I got left channel now.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's swapping between them.
That previous scene was only right channel, right?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
I don't
also
know
right
why you're
channel
getting
again,
but
audio from a
it's only-
countdown timer. It's weird.
Only right channel right now.
I
Like,
have
the
my
dialogue is
entire
only on
Windows
right channel.
forced to mono because I don't even bother with it. Very episodic, he said, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
That counts as a
It's a
reference.
good English. Well, what's that a reference to?
Just the
Star
nature
Trek
of
is
Star Trek
an
as a show.
episode.
Oh, I got you. You guys think?
Chekhov, see, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Chekhov's still here for the moment.
Oh yeah, we could count the number of dead actors in the show. That was-
2. It's 2. We did it.
Two. I know. Yay! Did we have a clip from Nimoy already?
No, not yet.
Hmm.
I think the only Nimoy we see is when we get like the cast photo when they're dying on the planet.
I like
Mm.
Chekhov shacking up with the Orion girl, and he's looking super cute.
There we are.
Did you? Ah, there it was. Okay. I just assumed he said it earlier. Is this like a library? What is this room?
Some form of archive. or
Why
something.
is a starbase called Yorktown when there was a starship called the Yorktown?
Don't worry about it.
Why not?
So something really innovative about the film.
This is an actual warp bubble as opposed to what is shown in
Yes,
other direct.
the warp is excellent in this. 10 out of 10.
Very true. Very true. We see a bubble.
Sorry, I'm late.
And then-
Chekhov's acidic goo.
Something this movie really pushes the edge of that whole space station Yorktown, which is all the planets and the gravities in like every which direction, like an E.M. Escher painting.
Like a what?
Escher, he's like an
Yeah,
optical
yeah, but
illusion
what,
painter.
yeah, no, I know who it is, but what were the initials you used? Sorry, MC Escher.
Thank you.
I just don't know. Like, all right, so in the lore, right, or maybe this is like apocryphal. The Enterprise A was originally the Yorktown, and they rechristened it Enterprise because to explain how they had a starship ready so quickly after the Enterprise was destroyed in a search for Spock. Why would they name the station Yorktown? Doesn't make sense because Yorktown was always a ship.
Why not? It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, this is a retroactive reference. They have a
Is it?
similar thing in Strange New Worlds, where this is the first birthday that
Oh.
Pike has older than his father.
Mm.
Fascinating.
So I really love these names: Yorktown, Saratoga, and Ticonderoga. They're all New York State battles during the Revolutionary War. And
Get wrecked, Soma.
yeah,
Fucking British.
Yorktown was when George Washington turned the tide. But Saratoga, of course, was a Cisco ship that blew up at the Wolf 359.
Very.
You can see the entire
Very cool.
different lighting on the bridge, though, because it's a different director.
Less shiny.
This isn't JJ.
No, this isn't JJ.
Mm.
It's Justin Lin.
Nice.
I don't know who that is.
I think JJ
He's
got
the-
started with
the-
Star Wars, so he was like, I don't need this. But honestly, I thought JJ ruined Star Trek, and like these Kelvin movies are pretty good. Having done a rewatch with you guys.
But who builds a city like
they're-
this? Why does this? Why does it look like this? This looks dangerous.
They would be better if they were in a vacuum.
Right. But like this one especially.
But they are
has
in a
ri-
vacuum. It's space.
No, this one especially, it has the way the ship's nacelles and the neck is destroyed is very innovative for Star Trek and like the Space Station 2. It reminds me, there's Elysium, which is a movie with Matt Damon that showed like a ring around Earth that where the 1% go and live.
It
They
is
don't wanna
curious
live
that there is transport when they literally also show someone having a using a transporter.
I mean, I'd love to live here.
This is the only Kelvin movie Kurtzman didn't produce.
Okay.
There could still be a lot of people who don't like using transporters.
True. I mean, I would be.
Really? I'd be running upside down everywhere.
Do we have? I don't think we
They
ever find
breaking
out what
up?
actually happened between them, do we? No, Spock, for real. What did you do?
Well, remember we had a running count of bad romantic advice? I think
Yeah.
that's not something you should tell somebody that it is you because like he's trying to get over her, so he needs to just like forget about that. Not
Zulu's kids and his day
Yes.
and his day father, which
Did you
husband,
George-
say his
Okay.
gay father?
husband,
the day father of the kids.
the co-parent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my.
All right, everybody remember Spock being really sad here. This is going to come up later. Classic, I'm going to count this as reference. Classic Vulcan robes a la Enterprise.
Which George Takei wasn't actually too happy about the reference to
Right.
the
Yeah.
day Zulu
Hikaru.
because
Just because an actor's
Because
gay
it's
doesn't
in the
mean
original
the
series.
character has to be.
yeah, and it wasn't
Yeah,
in the
just
original
because
series.
a character is gay doesn't mean the actor has to be. It's weird how that works. Actors can be actors.
Like,
in terms
Nick
of that's
Offerman
the
in-
absolute reason for that is because the absolute reason why that is the case, where it should be that it doesn't matter for that one, is because we have no right to know if someone's queer or not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you said
But
it
yeah,
only
the
has
thing-
to be played by an out gay character,
Right.
out gay actor,
You're
then you're
assuming
preventing people.
right.
I consider
And so
Sulu
you-
pansexual.
Right. And so you're assuming hetero is the normative, and that's quite an assumption because
Hmm.
And nobody's
Sulu-
making any assumptions. I'm just saying
Well,
that
I'm
an
just
actor
saying,
can play
George takes-
a straight actor can play a gay character, and a gay actor can play a straight character.
I'm making an
There is a-
assumption.
there is a
I'm
difference.
making an
That's
assumption
the
that this
nature
guy is
of being
here.
an actor.
That
There is
this
a point
guy
to make, though,
control
where
is here as a
it is
favor.
obvious when you've got a completely straight actor playing a
Mm-hmm.
gay character. It is very obvious.
Whoa.
Mhm.
Hey, you know
And
what?
what about
Emma,
Last of
the-
Us episode 3, Soma?
Hold on. It's pretty obvious the other way around too, because in Rent, the guy who plays Stamets is playing a straight character, and it's obvious he's not straight.
Anyway, I wouldn't. Anyway,
Anyway,
Language
Um,
analysis is complete. Since when is the universal translator just not magic and it works instantly?
is
This
this the
was-
voice of on Discovery?
Zora?
Zora, yeah, it sounds like Zora's voice.
I don't think so, but it's definitely similar.
I bet you it is the same
Shure.
voice actor.
Teray?
Sure. She's a great actor. She
Iranian
played
actor.
Did you watch Read
and she
Letter
plays
Media?
in The Expanse. The
UN Secretary
S
General.
review.
yeah.
And she's basically
So
the
the
president
Zora
of the world.
voice actor is Annabelle Wallace. Different person.
Very similar though.
I thought it
No,
was
I don't. I'm not really big on Red Letter Media. They seem to just sort of hate
Yes,
stuff.
definitely not. Yep.
No, Red Letter Media is awesome.
Yeah, I like her stuff.
They
this is
don't they don't just hate stuff. You probably only saw the like Star Wars prequel thing where they hate that. But
90% of their videos are we hate this.
no.
A large portion of their
Watch,
videos are
watch
we hate
their
this.
watch their
stuff.
Star Trek. Watch their
I
Star Trek
watched the TNG
top
trivia
10.
stuff, where even in there they couldn't help themselves from bashing Discovery when it was totally irrelevant.
They do that quite a lot, actually.
So-
that does bother me slightly that they spend so much time bashing Discovery and things that have nothing to do with the Discovery.
This is a reference to prior. Kirk is being told, "Don't take the admiral's chair because whatever you do, don't let him take you out of that chair."
Discovery actually
this is
sucks
the
though.
this is the
You
one
actually
from
suck,
The
though.
Expanse.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I just said.
Yeah. All right. Look, Discovery
I'm mixed about
had
R&M.
highs and
R&M.
lows.
They can be great, but they can be entirely too cynical.
I do
Yeah.
suck.
Well,
I'm just reminded of that scene from The Good Place, where Eleanor's like, "Come on, you have to take this class because you suck." It's like, "You suck." I know. We both suck. The reference makes sense to me. Don't worry about it.
in the Expanse, she drops so many f-bombs. That actress, she's famous for like every expletive. So like one time she tells the hero Holden, like he's
I
on the
goggle
Independence
balls
station.
too.
She
Don't make it
says
weird.
that about the situation when she sends him on a secret mission. Don't fuck it anymore. It's already been fucked enough.
Yep.
And she's the UN Secretary General, so she's like the president of Earth.
How
Also a woman of color.
How come the camera was linked to like the neck of the Enterprise? Why are we so zoomed in on that?
Foreshadowing.
Great shot.
This
This
nebula is like an
this-
asteroid.
It feels kind of expansy. Not the show, The Expanse, the Delphic
Mhm.
Expanse.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Strange
Before we knew
perspective.
Enterprise.
How come in Enterprise, when they first introduced the Delphic Expanse, we were like, "Oh, these people had their skins turned inside out and they age each other." How come we never actually see any of that on the Enterprise?
They promised us that, yeah.
well, Rick Berman said if we turn to Paul's skin inside out, then we can't look at the skin. So
The weirdest thing we got in that show is some people's skin got all wrinkly.
Mm-hmm.
from
got-
the distortions.
Yeah.
And we got like
There's a
Yeah.
lot more Jefferson in this film than I thought there was.
I chalk that up to hyperbole, like,
But they had a video.
Sorry, there's a lot more
on
in this film?
UPN.
More Chekhov in this film than I thought.
Oh yeah. No, Chekhov has a great great thing on the planet too. Like when Kirk is in the room in the engineering, or he's
I think
supposed to be.
Chekhov died after the filming because he's up through the end.
Yeah, he died after the filming,
Mm.
but I think before the release.
Yeah.
Everybody press
I mean-
F.
Yeah. Goodbye, Enterprise.
Is this a reference to Voyager? Because there was a swarm there.
Mm-hmm.
How can it? Just make number go up.
All personnel proceed
This
to
is-
escape pods. Close down the circus.
Yeah.
Evacuate
Yeah.
the zoo. The self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship.
Jim,
Move
maybe we
back
turn
to the
around.
memoriam
Can we
in the
just leave?
credits.
What about cetacean ops? What are the escape pods for cetacean ops like? How do you
Watery.
herd all the whales into water pods?
You torpedoes don't need to track them. Just manually detonate the
wanna see-
torpedo in the
There's many
swarm. What's
different-
I
wrong
wanna
with you,
see-
Chekhov?
I want to see an EV suit for a dolphin.
I feel like we have seen that. That sounds familiar.
I mean, technically, you still got to give him air, right?
Yeah, because there's no warp drive anymore. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no Bassard collectors. There's no nacelles. And, like-
Evacuation pods for cetacean ops are like the bags you get goldfish in.
Oh, jeez. But they could have like a skin tight suit that just circulates water around, but they still need air though, so they have to have like a breathing apparatus.
Maybe cetacean ops, just the whole thing ejects into space as one big light
Yeah.
pod.
It's one escape pod. But how come no other villain ever thought of this? This movie's actually really cool, and when you turn up the sound, like it's really well done. The music and the screaming in space.
Yeah, I don't think the Enterprise destructed this hard in Star Trek 3.
No, or
Hmm.
2, or First Contact.
Like Star Trek 2, when they shot it, they just put like scorch marks on the outside. This is savage.
Yeah. And then here too, like those pincers are like prying open the hull. Like there's a hull breach on at least like half a dozen decks.
So I'm not sure who
Okay,
these
but-
people are, though. Because we
Mhm.
learned that like Crawl and his buddies are the officers from the Franklin. But like, who are these losers? These aren't just crewmen, these are randos.
Right.
Who are the foot soldiers? Are they
These-
just random aliens that they enslaved?
basically found them.
I mean, but they look like the same alien race as Crawl. That's what that's what they're filming it as.
I,
Well,
Which is-
Crawl
I
looks the
thought
same
that
as
they
them
were-
because he's been feeding. Crawl looks like whoever he's feeding on,
Okay.
which is why he goes human later.
I thought he was a human originally.
He is. He's just using tech
He's-
to prolong his life, and that makes him take on the traits of whatever species he's using. So later, when he starts eating red shirts, he goes all Idris Elba again.
Mm.
Idris Elba.
Member of the Royal Shakespeare Society. So
Sir Idris Elba.
one of the greats. Actually, one of the things I love Idris Elba the most for, he's in The Wire, which is an HBO show about cops and Baltimore. And he plays an American gangster, a drug dealer. And when I saw him, I thought he was like a Black American. Come to find out, he's from the UK, and I couldn't even tell because he has such a Baltimore accent in that TV show. Great actor, mind blowing actor, actually.
Like, I'm trying to think. I was thinking like, oh, what are they trying to save at this point? But like,
Mm.
what do you even do in this situation? All you can do is escape pod, right?
Yeah.
Sort of. They're sort of trying to figure out what's going on first.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you what's
also-
going on with this guy. He got eaten.
Also, but this is a good movie, so this ship is going to put up every last bit of resistance. Spock does an amazing job here. Later, Kirk single-handedly holds off the enemy.
It is curious that they didn't just do escape pods first. As soon as they started boarding, then yeah, it kind of makes sense. But it's curious they didn't do it before that point.
Right.
Or
That
when
order
they
should
saw
be-
the swarm, just turn around and leave.
Okay, but yeah, this makes no sense. I don't think you can like run across the enemy and like they're all have their guns trained on you. Like Kirk should have been shot, but
Jim,
we wouldn't get this
hammer him.
choking.
Oh, Crawl knows more
Also,
than you might think.
something really well done with this movie is that this villain used Starfleet's sense of compassion to lure them in, and we don't
Yeah.
actually see something that maybe in Enterprise because Enterprise is like that motif.
But he's from
But we don't.
Enterprise.
No, I mean the show that you like, Star Trek Enterprise, Rick Berman, Brandon Braga.
No, that's what I mean.
Um,
Crawl is an Enterprise character.
oh, okay. Who did he play?
He's from the Enterprise era, I should say.
Oh, okay, okay.
And once again, our gravitational stuff is down.
This is really, I mean, look, this even pays homage to Star Trek Generations, the way the saucer section crashes on Viridian 3, or whatever this planet is.
Oh, it looks weird without nacelles. I don't like
Red
that.
alert is a reference to
Yeah.
all the times they've used red alert.
Thank you.
You know what? Sure, why not? Just for you.
But the thing is, though, the Enterprise wasn't sheared off. You know, this is like we didn't do a
Brown, Brown alert! The captain has shat his pants.
Yeah, I would agree.
Bring him a fresh uniform to the bridge.
This is why you need
Immediately.
saucer separation.
Yeah, I mean, this was the inelegant saucer separation.
Even the escape
Because when
pod
it has
ejection isn't
saucer
really
separation, they
working.
still
It's
have
scraping
impulse.
against the sides.
And I also like how this ship needs to like get off the warp power generation and go to impulse. You know, so they were very technical in this movie.
Yeah.
They did a good job of showcasing our
All those
ship
enemy
specs.
ships embedded into the bottom of the saucer, I think those are the exact same places as the thrusters. I think they reused like some anchor points on the model for that.
Makes sense.
Why are you being all like sad about this? Sulu, there's not a ship anymore. Of course you're
Yeah.
going to abandon
Yeah.
it. Just leave.
People are being sucked out into space or blown out into space.
We can make another ship.
One eye
Um,
is sufficient acknowledgement, Sulu. Not pirates.
Hey,
My god, Sulu, what have I done?
The Franklin is the Stargazer class.
the same thing you'd always do, Jim.
Isn't it Franklin?
Give
now?
us a fighting chance.
Constellation.
Church knowing every member of his crew. That's actually quite good for him.
Oh, Freedom class according to Memory Alpha.
Okay, thank you, Memory Alpha
All right.
and Ryan.
Apparently, that same class does show up in the show Enterprise.
Oh no way! So that's a reference. But we
Allegedly,
haven't seen it yet.
according to Memory Alpha. I have no memory of this.
I think it shows up in one of the scenes where like that Klingon warbird attacks Earth on the one season, and the three ships respond to it.
The one time Earth has defenses.
It's just lower than Stargazer class. Okay. It's like a little science ship.
I do really like that scene though, where there's actually other ships in range.
Yeah,
One time.
the one time someone attacks Earth, and it's not just the Enterprise that's nearby.
Yep.
It's like your guard dog's a sleepy old golden retriever who like
Well, to be fair, there was first contact,
who has
the
arthritis.
Borg attack, and there was a whole fleet defending Earth.
I mean, not enough because they ordered the Enterprise E away, their sovereign flagship.
They had really good reason for that.
Yeah.
In reference to the previous film, he's inside one of the torpedoes.
This is great.
Neat.
Yeah, this is really well done. Except I don't see
Oh,
how
and he's
he
playing a
shot
little
through
Game Boy for the
smart-
trip.
It's a little bit too much like Moses through the Nile River, but okay.
What does this have to do with
Moses to
Moses?
the Nile
Where's-
River.
Yeah. Did you see the Prince of Egypt?
Sure, I can fight.
I am not
Yeah, they put
counting
him
the
in a
escape pods as
basket.
a reference to the Bible.
Yeah, they definitely used the same anchor points for the model.
The model you guys have?
I actually don't have
Maybe-
the model of this ship.
On the 3D model.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
it's
feel like-
intentional. Maybe they're trying to show like the
No, I
alien
considered it.
ships were trying to block the thrusters to mobilize the ship.
possibly.
How
Amazing
Always
fight
land on
scene.
glass.
Jim's
You just
back is
saw
all
this-
lacerated now, right?
Yeah.
The tactical genius of Crawl is to clog up their ship with waves and waves of his own men until they reach
I-
their predetermined kill limit and shut down.
Uh-oh, Kirk did the old switcheroo.
Uhura, I don't suppose you have
Wait.
a gun.
One thing Chris Pine said about this movie is you can't expect Star Trek to be intellectual like the other movies. But I don't feel like this movie was too much of a dumb movie. I feel like it was a well-constructed movie. You don't have to compare it. And you don't have to say it's less intellectual.
It is very much an action movie, though, more than.
Mm-hmm. They were trying to sell tickets, and they failed at that. So when Star Trek,
If you want to hate me, I
2009
think
came
this is
out-
a bit better action movie than Star Trek 2.
I think so. I think
Significantly.
I would agree with that actually. You know, I mean, I was even thinking
I
this
wouldn't
is
call
actually-
Star Trek
Kelvin
2 an
pods.
action movie.
This is
I would.
like this belongs in great Trek movie, not just Kelvin timeline status. It's definitely very with the sound all the way up. It's very entertaining. The characters too. The dialogue is very quippy, sharp dialogue.
So-
Good
It's a
technical.
submarine combat.
What
film,
determines who gets what
or-
escape? Because
Yeah.
when Spock and McCoy evacuated, their escape
I
pod
think
was
this is my
massive. It was
third
really
favorite
spacious.
Trek
These people are
movie.
just going in like coffins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do senior officers get the better ones? Oh, are they being collected?
Yep.
Helps that Simon Pegg is a Trekkie.
Yeah. Star Trek Picard has this awesome scene where at Battle of Wolf 359, like they're all friends waiting at the escape pods until a lieutenant commander has to come down and order them to.
They are
you know,
falling really ridiculously fast for it to be burning.
9.8 meters per second.
Yeah, everybody on this saucer is going to die.
You have to be. You're talking if an asteroid, if anything is traveling fast enough to hit the ground at that speed,
Yeah.
it is
It's gonna burn up.
obliterated.
It's gonna burn up before it
Nine-
hits the ground. So,
9.8 meters per second is Earth gravity.
yeah. Well, it's gonna be at least that fast.
You don't know.
They do
We don't know
some
if the
pretty
planet's
intense
bigger or
jumps
smaller
later
than
on.
Earth.
Maybe it's lower gravity here.
Yeah.
I feel
Okay,
like it's the same.
this is
I don't-
just
I don't
Viridian
think-
3.
Yeah. I don't think our
Yeah.
actors seem particularly buoyant like they are on the moon or something, you know?
Viridian 3 crash looks so good because it was all practical.
6,000 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, they're
That's
probably
how
fine.
fast you have to be to burn up.
Yep.
Okay.
Apparently.
But you wouldn't start getting hot if you. Well,
Simon,
would,
you don't know if there's air here?
But okay, we also have the hull, right? So the hull has heat absorbing capacity, you know? Okay, so
Yep.
another thing, I know this is CGI.
So
and
do
I'm
you.
not impressed by
You can
CGI.
absorb a certain amount of heat.
Not as good as
Is
metal.
this a national park?
Uh,
Are they at
no,
El
better than
Capitan
metal.
again?
Very possibly.
You won't be alive, but you'll absorb a lot of heat.
Yeah. The idea is to be alive and let the metal burn me up. burn
Kirk,
up
punch
in
her.
me.
Oh, stun?
But the thing
No? I could just...
that scene where Scotty jumps off into the abyss.
Why is
Like I love how the CGI is done, and then also the direction
It's
moves
just
the
kinda cute.
camera. It's a really great shot, and again, this movie is a fine piece of cinema. You know, and
This
Kirk
is
does something
generic
sweet here.
Vancouver forest.
The only reason he spares her is because she's the captain too.
This is why I got
He's
the
like,
crew.
yeah. Like, you know, a captain would do anything for his or her crew, and he's kind of moved to it by her plight in that sense. Oh, uniforms are looking so snazzy, by the way. I wish I could be in
Did
a
Kirk change
crash and
into
look that good.
this on the escape pod?
Yep.
I don't remember him wearing this in the last scene.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
you
the
gotta
escape pod dressed him in this.
You
There's
gotta
a
be
shot where it
fascinating.
shows it.
Oh,
you got to be
He
cute
gets in this.
when you land on the planet.
survival
That-
gear.
Yep. Yep. It like dresses him like
Patagonia.
Wait, why didn't Simon Pegg get in?
Because Simon Pegg was in a torpedo.
Oh, thank you. And look, you know, Picard had a dune buggy in Nemesis. Here we got a motorbike for our captain.
Yep.
Picard had a dune buggy in Nemesis because he insisted on it.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart, that is.
So Pine probably wanted a motorbike.
Captain's
He
prerogative.
was like, if I'm gonna do this movie, you have to give me creative control. And then he goes, and I'm gonna drive a dune buggy. And they're like, all right,
Usually they have,
whatever,
like,
whatever, Patrick.
my trailer is twice as big as the other person's trailer. Like that's what it stipulates. You know, like
It's-
I need catering for
Everything that Patrick Stewart added to the movies is arguably the worst element in every movie. So the first thing that he added to First Contact was which ended up on the cutting room floor, was a romance between him and Lily.
Mhm.
And then in Insurrection was the romance between him and the I don't know, the
Baku.
Baku woman.
500-year-old woman. Yeah.
And then the dune buggy. So like
This bad guy, he's like, I know you're kind, but his accent is distinctly African. So I don't understand why Idris Elba has an African accent all of a sudden. He's not an alien. He's a human.
I don't know if he counts as human anymore.
He's not coded as human for the first half of the movie. You really think
kind of
he's
like Ship of Theseus, you know, if you change all the parts,
Yep.
it's still, you know, if you've replaced all your human parts with other parts, are you still human?
well, if all your cells are different.
Oh, yes, the
Something
comedy
unusual.
duo.
Yep. We
Also,
get some
this
proper
escape
Kid
pod exterior
McCoy
looks a
spot
lot
moments.
smaller than the interior was.
That's always the case. That's Star Trek.
TARDIS. The TARDIS escape pod.
That's the CGI and the practical. And look, they didn't get the uniform change.
Does he have a big hole in his side?
Yeah.
He's about to.
Well, I mean,
Never
hole's
pull it
there.
out. Never pull it out.
yeah, this is not
Hey,
something.
heads up, people. If you're in this situation, never pull it out.
Let a doctor
Yep.
pull it out. More accurate, let a doctor pull
That
it
is a
out.
doctor.
Yeah.
But what if it punctures your iliac region?
Go to a ER right away.
See, Bones thought of it. He knows that taking it out's not a great plan, but it's if he doesn't take it out, he's definitely gonna die. If he does take it out, he might die.
All those internal
that's a
veins that
reference.
are bleeding
Kinda.
have to be stitched up and sewn up and cauterized and
He's got a fixed Spock with nothing more than bone knives and bear skins.
I'm a doctor, not a surgeon.
But he is a surgeon.
he's the chief surgeon of the Enterprise. The chief medical officer came later.
Did you ever hear about the story of the famous
Plagueis,
con
the
man
lies.
who impersonated a ship surgeon in Vietnam, a Canadian ship's surgeon, to get aboard a ship, and then he had to
nailed
perform
it.
a whole bunch of procedures. Yeah, he sped read the instructions
And as Dax
on
points
how to
out,
do it, and
he has a
everyone
surgeon's
survived.
hands.
Ain't nothing to it.
And they didn't press any charges either. They're like, you know what? All right, it's gonna make us look stupid for letting you on a ship.
Swearing in my Star Trek.
It's
How
kind of
dare
like
you.
I saw. There's a,
Oh, you didn't do it.
No, how
there
dare
was a kid who played.
Spock?
There was a kid who played Flight Simulator, and he knew how to fly an airplane, like really well. And apparently, they needed him one day, and he was able to take the wheel. One thing this movie bothers me.
Citation needed.
Yeah, one thing that this movie really
How did-
bothers me. They keep saying,
Oh,
"Can you make
no.
the starship fly?" You pilot a ship. You do not fly a ship.
Meh.
Debate me.
No. Who are these losers? How did they... Are they part of Krawl's crew, or are they just rando bandits?
You fly a plane. This is not a plane.
Jayla, I don't suppose you have a gun?
Nah,
These are-
just swords.
These are very much like Hirogen.
Jayla, why do you have a stick? Why don't you have a gun?
Oh no! I mean, the other thing done really well. This movie uses the holographic, soldiers of duplicate of
It's
yourself,
using the
which-
same sound effect whenever she fades in and out as the EMH.
I wonder why.
Yep, good
Please
job,
state the
Simon.
nature
You're
of
very
the-
intimidating.
Please state the nature
Hey,
of the medical
Lassie.
emergency.
Subtitles even said Kenny.
So they gotta look alien, but they still gotta be hot. Got it.
Yeah.
I don't really like the badges in Beyond. I don't. They're my least favorite of the.
I'm not.
the
Yeah, the
badges in any of the
swirl is a
shows.
little off.
That's the swirl from TOS.
I was gonna say,
It's more
like, I get
It's more
Crawl.
that it's the opposite way around to the normal ones, where the normal ones are outwards, that has a thicker outline and a thin inline. Thin inner part.
So Crawl knows English because he's a human, kind of. She
Yeah.
knows English, and he's not even questioning it.
Well,
Like, don't
she
worry
said
about
it's
it.
from just from her clan, because of her clan, but yeah.
I mean, she knows English because of the Franklin, but he doesn't know that. Close enough. Did they just, like, cut off dandelions and bring a fan? No. Okay, there's too many CG. Well, like a third of the Enterprise. I'm surprised it didn't, like, fall down. I guess it's perched on a rock or something.
Yeah.
Where are
I still
they
feel
right
the music
now?
is the best thing to come out of these movies.
Yeah.
And
Um,
Carl Urban. Carl Urban is a treasure.
Yep.
Eomer of Rohan?
What is he?
He's Eomer in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Yeah.
I like him in The Boys.
Pretty good. Does he ever get to use his New Zealand accent?
Who's ready for the new season of The Boys?
He's pretty convincingly American, though, in this.
Yeah.
I buy it.
Just
That was a
finished Gen V
beautiful-
to get ready for it.
Pretty
Yeah, I
sure
need to watch
using
Gen V.
Compound V in this show would get you banned from Starfleet on grounds of genetic manipulation. It's illegal.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened to Bashir.
You know, something else, movie being very innovative for the Star Trek genre, which is arguably stagnating for quite a while.
Stagnating.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I mean, Voyager was just
N-
TNG again.
right. And Nemesis was a big flop. You know, I was just reading Brent Spiner said the fans abandoned us because like we didn't. TNG at one
Yes.
point 1 million people were watching it every week. You know, it was a huge show. So it was quite a
Yes,
decline.
Enterprise era.
That's amazing.
I
don't really
love
use
the
any-
It
Enterprise
is
era
questionable when the ship was launched.
Don't worry, it's the first Warp
think-
4 ship that came out like 2 months before the first Warp 5 ship. Don't worry about it.
Pretty great. But so this movie, I really like the goo that they have that's like protective.
goo.
What's that like liquid thing that turns solid that protects them at the end? I thought that was really innovative. We
The
don't see
goo.
The gel
see that in
layer that
Imperial.
the Master Chief has.
that. So we don't see that in Star Trek before or after. So again, this is really innovative for a genre that was stagnating. I can't believe I didn't like this movie more, you know? I was just too busy focused on like the critical reviews and the fact that Chris
it's
Pine isn't that great of an actor, I thought. But okay.
It's pretty mediocre.
No, it's actually for cinema, I think it's a well
This
done piece of
movie's
cinema.
excellent. I love this
Yeah.
I think
movie.
so too. I think so too.
I do like Beyond. It is
Like
good.
even how the bad guys revealed and then you have a huge fight in the Yorktown and then he's smart enough to know that you mess with the air exhaust system. It's well thought out, well written. The villain is likable or unlikable.
The villain is Idris Elba.
Great acting from a great of the industry. Like
We get a
usually
couple
when you have-
Chekhov's guns with Uhura's necklace and Keenser's
Mhm.
flu.
good humor.
Whatever's going on with him.
We
we
don't get any more
We get
Chekhov's guns after this movie.
we get Beastie
Yeah.
Boys.
We get some
again,
good Spock and Bones moments.
and that line about I don't know you like classical music made everybody.
We didn't
laugh.
even learn what
Yep.
Spock's favorite color is, though. He didn't answer the question.
We honor Leonard Nimoy's passing in real life, so that was very tearjerker. You know, we give homage to the greats. It's what Star Trek Generations should have been, really. That's it. This movie.
The only
you
thing
know
that could
how,
make
like,
this movie better is if there were whales in it.
the first Kelvin movie was clearly Star Trek.
Well,
1.
that's the Star Trek 4 thing. So the next one, if it ever
Yes.
Oh, of course. The start. Yeah, I don't believe that Star Trek 4 is
Which is
happening.
gonna
But
be a
if it does,
prequel
there
now.
better be whales.
But,
if they don't at least have
Anton
like a
Yelchin
mention of
gets
the
a
whale.
nod as well.
this one's Generations, though. All we needed was the Duras sisters.
Duras.
I mean, thankfully we didn't have a Nexus, but
It's
and we
very
didn't have to watch-
appropriate that. Well, no. I was thinking
Mhm.
Spock died, and then Spock died around Star Trek 3, but no, he died in Star Trek 2.
The second. Oh, right. Okay. The search for the Wrath of Khan.
Of course, where else is he going to put it? What do you want? Ooh, if you listen to her actual alien speech, she actually said crawl there. I understood that.
Chekhov saves the day.
See, it's Chekhov's gun. He brought one. Good job, Chekhov. I need a Russian here to tell me if Anton Yelchin is convincing.
Shoot.
He is.
Shoot her.
Do it.
Shoot her. Shoot her.
Did we shoot her? No.
Phasers are
okay.
back to being bullets. It's great.
This was a good thing about the movie, I would argue.
Oh,
Do we actually
always
see
been bullets
beam
in the-
phasers
in
at
the
any
Kelvin
point in the
movie.
Kelvin universe?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
We saw beam phasers as point defense.
Yeah.
They weren't the main cannons, though.
Yeah. And never as a hand weapon.
I don't think so.
Right.
But even for phasers, as a single bolt makes more sense than the laser unless you're heating something up.
Laser?
That's true.
Lasers can't even penetrate the
never thought of it
navigation
that
shields.
way.
Don't you know that?
I never thought of it that way, but you're right.
Yeah, why would you spread
Yeah,
out your damage across like 5 seconds? Just shoot them.
The
Well,
idea
there's
is
also that scene in DS9 with the wide beam phaser, which was the most useful thing in the history of existence.
That they never
We see that in
used.
They only used it once.
They used it in like practicing for. No, in Voyager,
yeah.
Tuvok uses a wide dispersal
Yes,
phaser on
okay,
the bridge
I
to
think
stun
there's a
everybody at
rule-
the same time.
I think there's a rule in
But it
Star
had,
Trek
like,
Writer Rooms where
multiple
every
beams.
series gets one use of wide beam.
And
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine, it was like a pulse. It was like a ring
kind
that
of-
would expand to like fill the room.
Which was very useful against a room full of Dominion.
Changelings,
Yeah.
I think it was Jem'Hadar,
shapeshifters,
or potentially.
shapeshifters.
I can't remember.
Apparently,
Boarding
Kirk here
Jem'Hadar.
ignited the warp core with his phaser, or like.
Well, definitely not the warp core. The warp core is gone.
Right, that's true. Ignited the
Wrong part of the ship.
power. Yeah. Assembly power generator.
He ignited the thrusters.
Okay, grass. Okay, thanks. But
Which
again,
feels
if you-
dangerous.
It's
if
just a
you
thruster.
like reading this technical manual, to Star Trek, this movie was very technical. And we we shoot through the view screen to jump through it, which no other Star Trek genre has
And
done.
those shields are really
That's
important,
because
I
you
guess.
can't shoot
'cause-
through a view screen that isn't a window on most ships.
You go
It's a
through the
window
view
on
screen,
every-
you just end up in like a hallway. Maybe the observation lounge.
It shouldn't ever be a window.
Oh,
There's no
that's why
reason
the
for it to be a
observation lounge
window.
in TNG is all curved with the ship display. It's because that's the view screen.
Also, we see somebody crushed by a saucer section, which we don't see in any
Yep.
other Star
That
Trek
view
genre.
screen should at least be transparent aluminum.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
the fact that they were able
Yeah.
to shoot through with a hand phaser doesn't bode well if they're actually being
Right.
No,
attacked.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, they actually crashed first, so it was probably compromised structurally already.
Yeah, the shields are really, really important. They need this.
Yeah.
Structural integrity fields. Structural integrity fields.
That is an active thing in
Critical,
Star Trek.
critical for the starship to stay in one piece.
The windows
Just
work
Like
very
all
well.
the
Thanks for
architecture
asking.
of the starship doesn't make sense without structural integrity fields.
And ablative armor.
How does a blade of armor work? It works very well. Thanks for asking.
Unlike
a blade
the
of
view
armor
screen in
is
Nemesis.
burned off.
But it's not, though.
And
Yeah, a blade of armor burns
The-
off to protect what's underneath.
Not on the Defiant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Does.
it's like a permanent
It's-
part of
We
the
never
armor.
exactly what
see
it does.
that. It's always just
No,
totally
a blade of
unaffected.
armor is exactly what that does. Is it burns off to.
But I'm saying
absorb
we
the
never
energy of the-
see that on the Defiant.
There is some scenes, but it's very expensive to do, Ryan. So they showed it a little bit, and
But
then,
they have a CG
and then they don't
Defiant.
show it ever again.
So this villain is
Right.
very convincing. He's like, the Federation's weak, and we have to be strong. So and he also says the frontier pushes back, which is really
He's going to
interesting because
make
that-
Earth great again.
This is just the writer's room of TNG when Ron D. Moore was talking to Roddenberry and he was going, things must have conflict. We must have conflict now.
Bring the studio back to the struggle that made Paramount strong.
No, but the Star Trek is the wagon train to the stars, and here it's like,
and that wagon's got a big old cannon on the top.
Yeah, and then the thing is though, now what if the frontier pushes back, meaning the Indians who we were winning all the wars against, natives, Americans, they were able to push back.
Tasty red shirts.
So you're turning back into a human now?
A little bit. It's not going to be full human quite yet.
But yeah, Star Trek is basically cowboys and Indians.
No. What? No.
Don't. Am I going to be muted?
What?
Yes. Spock, only one of you died. You're fine. You've got like 100 years. Frickin' Vulcans.
Oh my god. Now we get to talk about our personal relationships. Oh, he wants to have Vulcan babies? But you're only half
He
human.
wanted to open up their relationship.
Oh, awkward. Maybe he was just having feelings for that T'Pel person. Tragic.
Bye, Leonard.
I was just watching Unification with TNG, and
I like Unification.
Leonard Nimoy gave so much to this genre. I mean, Shatner never came on TNG. Like,
he did do
Did you see the little micro fluctuations? What he's doing with his skin or his facial muscles?
Zach Quinto.
Yeah, Zach's making himself look all sad. He looks like he's trying to stop himself from crying.
I mean, he's still mourning his planet, which is a really good character development thing because, you know, you never see Spock cry, you know, for his people or his Navarro. Oh, this is a reference to future Navarro in Discovery.
No,
Just
he's
wish
not
he had
leaving Starfleet Bones. We have to leave it open for a sequel.
I mean, and also good character development because remember, Spock is more than happy to reject the Vulcan Science Academy when they didn't need him. And remember, the guy made a quip about his half-human heritage, and that's why he's like, you know what, I decline. And very good character, but now here he feels a debt to his people and planet.
If he's only half Vulcan, what does it matter if his girlfriend's human? His kids aren't going to be full Vulcan anyway.
But then they would be quarter.
They're going to be.
Yeah.
So what?
No, but he wants the ears.
Yeah.
So what? If he has kids of the full Vulcan, they're only going to be 3/4
Spock
Vulcan.
is big
Whatever.
on
What
racial...
difference does it make?
Purity.
Whoa there, Ryan.
Look, Spock's the one who did it.
I said it. And I'm the one who said it, not Ryan. He stopped. He had the sense to stop himself. I did not.
Point is, Spock has some views that if he expressed them, he might get kicked out of Starfleet anyway.
He should go through the DNA machine that separates his human self and his Vulcan self into two separate entities. And the human self can be with Uhura, and the Vulcan self can go have Vulcan babies.
What,
I think it's more about serving his species, not about having kids.
That's what we're talking about. Sorry,
go ahead. Mr. Studios, what did you not realize?
Oh, I was just pointing out that I didn't realize we hadn't reached the point in the movie that
one thing I loved about this movie is how they paired up characters.
Your volume is going lower as your sentence goes on.
And have more meaningful conversation.
Well, that could have something to do with the fact that I was moving further away from my microphone, but yeah. It's
I'm like straining to hear you.
So Kirk did what?
Yes, well done, Simon. That Rock.
Oh yeah, this is the goo I was mentioning. By the way,
Did
their
he just
fall here is
swear in
really
my Star Trek?
That wee man.
their fall here is really painful. I feel like that's not fair to take somebody out of a gelatinous goo.
That
like
that would have hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right onto
He's
a
all
rock.
right.
And then later, when they teleport
Well,
onto the pad, they have another conservation of a momentum moment. Like, it
conservation of a
hurts so
little
much.
momentum.
And yeah. I mean, one thing I always noticed, even as a kid, when they teleport you and you pass out on the transporter pad, you don't actually pass out because, like, you can't actually. Even as an actor, it's an unconscious reflex that you'll fall on your knees and then you'll fall over. You can't just throw yourself onto the floor. Evolution has kind of like geared you against that for reasons of protecting your head.
I like how it cut away from Jim just before he explained the artifact stuff, so it's suspenseful for the audience later.
This so reminds me of the Stargazer. I'm just all nostalgic from that Picard episode. where the
Captain
Ferengi bring him
Balthasar
back to life.
Edison, hero of Starfleet,
I didn't realize how much I like the Stargazer bridge.
captured by a giant green space hand.
Yep. Which they actually encounter after this time canonically in TOS. Unless they've already done that in this.
Sorry, what do they
timeline.
encounter after
A
this?
giant green space
In
hand.
one of the TOS episodes is a giant green space hand.
Right. The
Who
one that
mourns
brings
for
Abraham
Adonais?
Lincoln? Oh no, the one that brings the Greek god. Okay.
He likes that
Great jacket. I didn't realize that jacket zipped up. That's such a great piece of
Wormhole
apparel.
reference.
That's sort of what jackets do. It's a pretty common feature.
I think weren't the DS9 uniform things more like a jacket on top that didn't zip up open, except for like a little bit of the top. But first contact uniforms, but they had a jacket that didn't zip up like that.
Most of the captains had a weird jacket that was different from the standard uniform. Like Picard had his jacket.
Yeah.
And a
His
few
adventure
That
others
was
had
an
this
adventure
live.
jacket. That was a request by Captain Picard because he said he's sick of wearing the same thing over and over again.
That's
Or
fair.
Patrick Stewart, sorry.
Yeah.
Not,
And then Sisko had a jacket.
Captain Picard himself. He had a
Sisko had
vest. He had a vest.
Yeah, he had a vest thing. Yeah.
He had a vest that was like a cut down version of the first contact uniform.
Yeah.
Archer has like a winter coat that he takes along.
Yeah.
He has a desert outfit too, right?
He does. yes.
Janeway didn't get anything like that.
Janeway got phaser rifles though before
That's
anybody else
true.
got phaser rifles.
Janeway got
Janeway
phaser
would have
rifles.
like the
She also,
undershirt
Janeway has
and
a
like the
Rambo vest with ammo
bandolier.
on it.
Yeah, the
Janeway
bandolier.
has the Rambo outfit, so please.
God damn it.
First contact uniforms zip open at the front.
Yeah, they do.
What were those
First contact
things of ammo
uniforms are
on
like-
Janeway's Rambo outfit? Because she has a phaser. What are those for?
And they're
grenades?
phaser cells. Phaser cells. But they use it for other stuff. It was whatever the plot needs them to be,
Oh, okay.
but they're phaser cells. So like in the
Generic sci-fi
macrovirus
cylinders.
thing, they're like macrovirus cure thing, you know.
Oh, so something else this movie does that's really amazing, and I think the rest of Star Trek should look up to it, is the ensemble
More
cast.
Enterprise era ships.
The ensemble cast. They try to give each character an important central plot, or they try to respect each character for who they are, and give them the limelight. And whereas we know, especially the original series movies, Shatner had to be paid the most. Shatner had to have the most lines. Shatner frequently took over other actors' lines because he's the one who wanted to come up with the idea that moved the plot forward. Frustrating to work with, I can imagine. But Star Trek has always been an ensemble cast more than any other show. So I'm so glad they recognized it.
Until we get to the Michael Burnham show.
Don't
Look,
be all
Lily grew into her
spiteful.
own. Lily's important.
So they're dead,
I'm
right?
just spitting
This is
facts, Ryan.
this is a pre-Enterprise transporter. It was not built to transport people at all.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks like a Klingon transporter in any other movie. It looks like where they put the whales in.
Splice,
Trek
that's a
4.
reference.
Yep.
I was actually thinking
I
about
was
that
always
earlier in the
disappointed
first scene when
Discovery
they
couldn't make it a more appropriate ensemble show.
beamed Kirk back and there were like
Scotty
Fobonans
made modifications. It's fine.
or whatever they were called. I don't think they were Fobonans. Latched onto him. It's like, oh, thank God they didn't 2-fix him.
Oh my god. And
oh god, is Bones
something
gonna
right
have
here.
to work with this era
Yeah.
of sick bay? Are there like leeches and stuff?
Bones hates
Does
the
he have to put in a
transparency.
regular
Bone
bloodline?
knives.
It would have been a really
bear
good
skins.
note if he like took out like the because would this ship have
The
still
osmotic
been
eel?
serving while the NX-01 was still out? Like I know it was launched before, but would it have been about?
Given the ship wasn't lost until years after Enterprise, it presumably had a new transporter installed.
Yeah, maybe.
He did say it was only meant for cargo.
Fair enough.
But imagine if he like took out one of the medical tricorders and stuff and had a whole bunch of like notes and they had like Phlox references and stuff in it.
Mm.
That could have been.
Oh yeah, look at Crawl. He's much less ridgy. He's not human yet, but he's getting there.
Yeah.
Flux was the reason they used weird stuff, I thought.
It was, but how does a scientifically advanced society way beyond Earth still use literal leeches? What's up with you, Phlox?
Well, but they're good leeches. They're not like our leeches.
The last few years, there's been talk of using like maggots for post-surgery cleanup.
I like how Crawl's suit has that.
I don't
wool that
like
keeps
this lady.
getting-
No,
I
this
like
species
this.
shouldn't
This
be
is
allowed
really
in
well done.
Starfleet.
I think this is
We
really
use
well
literal
done.
maggots to clean wounds. It's fine.
But we don't have the magic blinky lights that we wave over people to cure them.
We have sterilized maggots to clean wounds. It's not just like regular maggots. They have to make them in a controlled environment
Look,
to make
what
sure
you
they're
do
sterile.
is you expose that part of a person's body, just that part, to open air and introduce some flies. They'll lay some eggs.
Oh my god.
That's not how you do it, no.
That's probably how you do it.
So
But it
I like
reminds
this
me of the
scene.
scene in Gladiator where that's exactly what they do.
I like this scene. The only thing is though that Sulu looks perfectly fine once he's out of the nanoprobe assimilation, whatever that's being done to him. He should be a little bit more like passed out or like more incapacitated.
He went a little Princess
Yeah, if
Bride,
they'd
where
put
they
him out
only
of
sucked
action
out
for a
like 3 years of his life.
Yeah.
Oh look, it's red now.
Red matter.
Well, it's matter that's red.
Okay.
Wait, how did... They didn't even mention, like, sickbay. How did he get healed? He's fine now.
Well,
Just sort of
he
showed
was
that
lying
he was
down.
doing that.
Oh, wait, this is the best scene.
Yeah, this is a good comedy sketch.
Amulet. We
Although-
never call anything amulets anymore.
Yeah, it's true. I just belong to a mystic order of my religion, but yeah, except for people who belong to
Wait.
esoteric.
Yes. Thank you, Spock. Best line.
Yeah, and we didn't even have Apple AirTags back then, so this is like a whole new different order of tracking. But okay, so in fairness though, let's not make Spock, into something that he's not. In the Star Trek 6, he puts a patch on Kirk to track him at the base.
Does that count as a reference that he gave her a Vokai amulet with the same properties?
Yes, thank you. Yes,
It depends on the intention.
yeah, I mean, Look,
Okay, here's the
okay.
return of dating tips. Dating tip number whatever. Don't give your girlfriend a tracking device.
Right.
They
But
won't
here's the thing.
appreciate it.
Any watch that glows in the dark has a little bit of tritium in it, and that's a mildly like non-lethal amount of radiation, and it can glow for a good 10 years, and you don't have to put that tritium paint on it. So Timex use
Not every watch. Tritium is expensive. So like if your watch has tritium in it, it's a really expensive watch. Most of them just use regular
glow in
glow
the dark
paint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why would you need a watch that you can see in the dark? Do you guys not have phones?
Before we had phones, that's what we had to do, Ryan.
People who are looking for tritium watches are usually like special forces operators or pilots that they can't
Hipsters
have
is what you're
lights
saying.
on.
You might be in a dark cabin or something, or hunting for.
Yeah, you're in an aircraft and you don't have lights running, and you can't have a screen that'll blow out your night vision. Your adapted, your natural adapted night vision. So
yeah, or you're just a watch collector like
tritium. Tritium is very radioactive, but the amount you use in a tritium vial is like it's like a few atoms. So it's really the risk is very, very low.
But the amount that is produced can literally go into the sea and it make no difference.
So I have a lot of tritium things. So
you got a lot of tritium? Jeez.
Yeah, I've got a lot of tritium stuff.
So that's what I'm saying.
Where do you get that from? Is this really expensive?
All my handguns have tritium sights on them.
So we don't
the
need to say
radiation?
Spock. We don't need to say Spock is a creep because, like, small amounts of radiation on substances is
Who's
normally.
calling Spock a creep? It was not his intention.
We laugh, right?
Yeah.
We laugh at him and we try to make him out to be something he's not.
Jordy is like, it was totally my intention. Jordy would be like, yeah, I gave her the radioactive thing I can track with my visor.
Yeah.
Jordy would do that. Jordy.
He would. And he'd know if she was spending time with other guys because the guy would be glowing, from being exposed to it. He'd be like, you've been spending time with Edison Chandler, haven't you? Haven't you?
Hello, Vanessa. Your pulse seems to have increased when I mentioned Jim.
Yeah. Jordy's such a creep.
Jordy has two beautiful
Notably,
daughters.
not LeVar Burton. LeVar Burton's cool.
Yeah, he turned out to be a great. Jordy turned out to be a great.
I saw an interview with LeVar Burton that made me like him less, and I was just kind of disappointed. But anyway,
what did he say? He likes Michael Burnham. What?
No. I won't get into it. I was surprised to hear that come from LeVar Burton. I was like, oh.
Great character moment. Kirk wanted to go in, but Spock is like, nope. Lieutenant Uhura's in there, and so he's in touch with his feelings.
I mean, I grew up with Next Generation reading Rainbow, and I was like,
I have an idea. We have no idea where this bike came from.
It was on the Franklin. That doesn't answer the question.
Kirk's bike. Right? No.
No, this was
Anyway,
Idris Elba's bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the ancient ones, yes, very sci-fi. Thank you. There's always ancient ones. Is there a single sci-fi franchise that doesn't have an ancient precursor race?
Why is she still in a Starfleet uniform?
Why not?
Because she's still a Starfleet officer.
She's not Starfleet, is she?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you mean? Yes, they are.
I think not Uhura. But he doesn't realize that's not the woman who betrayed them. That's the officer who's on the ship.
No, she's dead.
Yeah, that lady's the one that Kirk gave the artifact to hide in her head tentacles.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. They're very similar designs and aliens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Star Trek, man. Come on. They're all the same.
This scene's really messed up, and That's what I was gonna say. They actually made this villain a good villain, which is like rare for a Star Trek movie. I gotta say. I hate to say it. I mean, I love these movies,
That's the best Star Trek movies have the good villain.
Both played by Jeffrey Combs.
Wrath of Khan.
Oh yes, of course.
Borg Queen.
Honestly,
But it's
Sil,
hard
this is
to
what
know
you
if
get
it's
for
good.
giving him the artifact. This is on you.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but the same way we see the ship get eaten to pieces by the swarm, she gets eaten alive by wasps.
It's like
basically.
poetry. It rhymes.
Oh my god.
Some nice squishy meat
Um,
sounds as she died. Lovely.
And this is
Honestly,
weird though.
that
This is
doesn't
what
seem
makes
like
them
that great of a weapon. That's like you kill one
Right.
person at a time. Come
Yep.
on.
Well,
Right.
I'm sure you could fill that room with as many people as you want.
And apparently that this is a good line about the Frontier. Apparently that powers the thing to attack the Yorktown station. Just like one extra person being inside the.
Why is he walking like a ape? Like he's like hunched over.
In
He's
every
got-
scene with
Probably in
him,
some
he
pain.
sounds completely exhausted.
yeah, yeah, and his accent changes with every scene. Also,
I think his accent is changing as he gets more human. He's going back to Idris Elba.
yeah.
Were they in the transporter buffer that she was carrying? Like what was that?
No, I think
No, they
she's
just
got a
moved him.
pad enhancer on her so she could beam them in.
Yeah.
One motorcycle copy.
Ah.
Though it's interesting that they disappear when hit, considering that
Two motorcycle copy.
there's lots of things which are just emitting the
Three motorcycle.
Clone.
How come they never gave the doctor this technology?
Yeah.
Well, he did it in that one episode where he was running away from.
He did do it in that one episode.
Yeah, but this is
from-
TOS era,
from
and that's
Tuvok.
Voyager era. So we should have.
They're
had
all
that
in the
ready.
holodeck. These aren't in a holodeck. What's
The hollow
what's
emitter.
emitting them?
The space tech.
The Dominion tech that we saw in DS9. That war
Maybe
episode where
in the
Nog
Prime
gets shot.
universe, they just never found Idris Elba on this planet. They never got the technology from Jayla.
Right. That makes sense. That makes preeminent sense.
So did Idris Elba just die here in the Prime universe?
Yeah, he probably just died on this
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah.
It's like one day they will find me, and they just never did.
He's just writing diary entries. That's it.
Why is Crawl so obsessed with her? He just wants someone to be impressed with him. Is that what's up? He's bringing her along
Yeah.
everywhere.
He's like the essentialist.
Lieutenant, are
He
you
wants to-
impressed?
He wants to make the Federation stronger and more militant.
Ooh, look at
'Cause,
that
you know,
desk light.
He says that he saw millions die at the Romulan and Xindi wars. So, pretty upsetting, you know?
Though to
They
be,
should
there
really
wasn't
have
even a
just made
Xindi
it that it
war.
was a ship after the Enterprise, after Enterprise, rather than the ship before Enterprise.
That's true, though, Ryan. We averted the Xindi war, supposedly.
The Xindi war was they blew up Florida and Cuba and then they left.
Yep.
Sorry,
Yeah,
someone,
for
what do you-
anyone other than the Enterprise crew, very
I
little
said that they
happened.
should have just made the Franklin after Enterprise, then XO1, rather than before it.
Yeah. That would have made good sense too.
But they
like, the
have
whole
to
thing is
have
he's-
it be before because he needs to be pre-Federation.
He's like over 100 years
Well,
old.
I guess the ship itself could be after.
Why is
But
he in
he's-
red?
It doesn't need to be his ship from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Rip Van Winkle. Yeah.
He could have gone, oh, they gave me this puny ship not designed for combat.
And he could have been
But
any
he's
old
not going
freighter
into
captain.
combat. He's an explorer
But
now.
The whole thing is that he's a captain confronting another captain,
Yeah.
and he's a
Well,
tragic.
it
hero.
would have worked if he was a captain from before the formation of the Federation, and then the Federation forms. It's like, no, Lee's in his ship or whatever, gets lost in his ship, and it's like the Federation did this to me.
Yeah, they should have gotten the RoboCop actor again to be him, and be like, the Federation's weak. We need to be stronger. and he's the essentialist leader.
And also, there's another point here that it's several years before the formation of the Federation from the end of Enterprise.
No, doesn't the season 3 of Enterprise show the?
It ends with it, but it has a time jump.
Okay, right. No, when they come home. Oh, right.
No, there's a time jump in the final episode. These are the voyages.
Okay, right. You're right. That's because that's when Riker and Troy are watching the previews. Yeah.
Yeah, that
and Archer
TNG
has his weird
episode.
suit.
And Trip dies for no reason.
Can't believe we didn't get to see the speech.
I mean, I get the argument that any speech would not have satisfied us fully, but at the same time, it's like, come on, that's what we're building the entire series to, and you don't give us a speech.
Right. You don't even give us the line, "The birth of the Federation." How about that? Or "We the people."
Is that really going to help? They still... Oh, no, it's the magic. Okay. I thought it was just going to kick up dust to obscure them.
No, this is good plot development. Who invented that? Chekhov did?
Well, the stuff is from Jayla.
Ah, okay, right. Because that's
what she used that to capture James T.
Okay.
And the wee lad Chekhov.
Yeah.
The wee lad.
Oh, this is
Chekhov is really the Boimler of TOS. It's like, nope. First off, I'm a man. I'm an adult man. Thank you.
In the Star Trek 4 The Whales, you know, the question is, we're gonna leave her behind. You know, the whale lady expert, Gillian Anderson,
Dr. Gillian Taylor.
Thanks.
You mean leave her in her own time where we found her?
Right. And then, you know, because even though she's a love interest, here Jayla's told that they're not gonna rescue you, and Kirk does stay behind for Jayla, and then they touch each other, which is the way the Dr. Gillian hugged Kirk to be in the transporter beam. So this is the second time we established that you can just like jump on somebody, and then the transporter lock will cover you. So that's a reference, Ryan, to Star Trek 4.
Sure. It's a bit of a
I think
reach, but
someone
sure.
did it in TNG as well.
If you have to take more than 3 minutes to explain it, I'm not sure if it counts.
He turns to Scotty and goes, "Do that."
From Jayla's perspective, this thing's like a motorhome. She just...
Yeah.
She's just squatting.
No, but the funny thing is that most people who live in a motorhome, they never actually
I did love the comedy in this film.
Yeah.
No, you're confused. You're confusing a motorhome with a mobile home.
With a trailer.
What? Those are the same thing. What do you mean?
No, a motorhome.
No,
is an
a
RV.
motorhome. Motorhome, it literally is self-propelled.
Yeah, it's a vehicle.
A mobile home or a trailer. You have to actually put it on a. You have to attach it to a tractor trailer and move it.
So this is a motorhome.
But then you can also have a camper that is, you know, pulled by a pickup truck.
Yeah.
But an RV or a motorhome, it's like a bus. It's got its own
Yes, we can.
engine and drive.
Just have to get that establishing shot of the plaque commemoration.
Also, this points out how many of the
Emails.
Enterprise crew didn't survive because they've fit everyone who was on the Enterprise, which is a much bigger ship, onto this.
Yeah.
Well, they're packing them in, you know, it's like emergency quarters.
Yeah, but
you
in
know?
every other room, the hallways are just filled with crewmen. It's just this room is very sparse.
Right. Well, it's the bridge, you know?
Okay.
Only essential personnel here.
But
No,
also, during
there's
the rescue, there were only like 20 people being transported out.
Right. And also, I'm pretty sure that swarm, like, it didn't go after any escape pods, but I'm pretty sure not too many survived. Like, they were easy pickings. Escape pods are easy pickings.
It grabbed all the escape pods and brought them back to the Earth, to the planet.
Okay.
Wow, back to the Earth. That's
Yeah,
very
they
nice
did
of
grab
you.
a few.
Oh yeah, Jayla has a cloaking device on the Franklin, or projectors.
The first cloaked Federation starship? Question mark.
No, it's more like they're projecting light over it. Well, that is what a cloak is.
So
A
it's
cloak
cloaked.
bends light around the ship.
Yeah.
So maybe a projector.
No, the
would do
cloak
something-
pushes it into a it pushes it partially into subspace so that the light just passes through.
Okay. it refracts.
The cloak
it into
works very
subspace.
well. Thanks for asking.
What's it? It's a negative refraction index, or imaginary refraction index.
Does this make sense for how starships would fly? That they need
No.
velocity?
No.
Yes.
Not really.
That's how
And
lift
also-
works. You
Nope.
need speed for lift.
And
No,
rocks.
You don't need
But
lift.
it's a
This does
starship.
not.
This
Does not
doesn't work
use
in
lift. There's no lift.
But that's what he was saying. He said that they need speed to provide lift, which then you can use to pull up.
But
He said
And
they
they're
needed
not in any
enough
way
speed for the
aerodynamic.
thrusters to provide lift.
Yeah.
Well, that
Also, they
doesn't
keep
make
saying
any
fly, so they're
But-
flying this ship. They are using the lift from the saucer section.
The important
There's
thing is
no-
it's very dramatic.
It's not a lifting body.
Yeah, look,
Yeah,
that's
so
not
that
lift. That's
part
just
of the-
they fired the thrusters.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is just.
It would have been better if they hadn't had the shot go below the trees, if it had continued the motion upwards.
Right.
Yeah. If it just pulled up and was like an aircraft and actually kind of used the main saucer as a lifting body, that would make sense.
Yeah, but not every audience has somebody with a physics degree in it.
It does make sense that you could get the speed up to help the thrusters
Yes.
lift itself
I was trying to
upwards.
get. That's what I was
They
trying
just
to
did
get.
that
That's
off
not
screen,
what
so
happened
don't
in
worry
that
about
shot.
Yeah, it's not what the shot did,
Right.
but that's what the theory is.
Shot didn't do
Okay.
anything for that. You're right. You're right. They didn't use any lift as part of this fall. No. I really like Jayla's facial tattoos. I think they are really
Are those
well
even
done.
tattoos, or is that just her?
Right, that's her. But I'm thinking she looks really good for an alien that we have to like.
I just said earlier. I said, she's got to look alien, but she's also got to be hot.
Okay.
Seriously, how did
Strategic
they build it
placement
like
of
this?
transparent fabric on her outfit.
Are we ready for the destruction signal?
This guy's a huge Star Trek fan. The guy from Star Wars.
This dude.
This guy.
He was also captain in Star Wars. The sequel trilogy. He's part of the rebellion.
Yeah, it doesn't look awesome for them. I think they might
Don't
be
worry,
a little
they
screwed.
firmly established why most aliens
Yeah.
are hot humanoids.
There's a fake sky.
Wait, is that Sulu's?
Yeah, husband.
Yeah, that's Sulu's husband.
Co-parent. Yeah, co-parent. Yeah.
I didn't realize we saw him again.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. Even though I did watch the movie yesterday.
Phase cannons mentioned.
Yeah.
Yes, face cannons.
Which again means it has to be after Enterprise.
Yes.
It was retrofitted.
Everything other than the ship itself.
Enterprise
has to be set
itself was
after
refitted
Enterprise.
with phase cannons. So
Yeah, I know. That's the whole point. Everything other than the ship itself in this film has to be set after Enterprise.
Yeah.
Or did you just
My
swear
only
on my
assumption
stuff?
is that this ship was retrofitted like Enterprise was, and therefore it has
Well,
all
I mean,
of those
even
features.
its registration is after.
At minimum, they
Enterprise.
repainted.
Enterprise was refit, or they added the cannons later because the ship was launched early.
Was this an SS or is it a USS?
This is a USS.
This is official USS.
So that also means it's a Federation ship, not a.
Is it an
Yeah, because they
NCC?
repainted.
Yes. It's only 3 numbers though. We don't even have 4 numbers yet.
Well, that makes sense though. That's acceptable.
Because they
No,
talk about
but-
this ship was integrated into the Federation Starfleet.
Yeah.
Oh man, so it's even older than Star. Wow. But you
It was
guys
part of
remind me
Earth Starfleet, and then when it turned into the Federation, they repainted it with USS.
You guys remind me of like very religious Christians and Jews who try to use the archaeology to fit in with like who was the pharaoh of the Exodus. And it's like, no, the chronology is not going to line up. Like, just stop. You know, we can't figure out who's the pharaoh of the Exodus because they were probably never in Egypt and never left in.
Frickin' ancient Egyptians and their lax record keeping.
Yeah, they were never in Egypt. We would have known about this.
Reference, I'm a doctor, not a.
I didn't catch that, but I will trust you that they said that.
I'm a doctor, not a.
The fact that they were
not a
able to
plumber.
beam onto that little ship is really impressive
Mhm.
because of the irregularity that they travel at.
Maybe all of the extra crew members are just in the transporter buffer. Scotty would have thought of that. He's thought of that before.
On the Franklin? Jesus, that's dangerous.
Well, technically, you thought of that after.
That is dangerous. You're so right.
What was the name of the ship from Relics?
The Janolan.
Yes.
The Janolan.
That was a shuttle, not a ship.
It was
Shuttles
a ship.
are
I think it was
ships.
technically a starship.
It was.
It was like a runabout.
It was a ship.
That was a ship. Sorry. It was just like shuttle size, but yeah.
Yeah,
No, it was bigger than a shuttle
slightly
because
bigger
it
than a
held,
runabout.
it held the door open for the Enterprise, and the Enterprise
Memory
came
Alpha
through like sideways.
says it's a Sydney-class starship.
Okay.
It's look.
Those
It's just a
stormships are
big
actually
chunky
really killing
runabout.
themselves, aren't they? We're trying to break through them.
Runabouts get their own registry number, by the way, so they're not runabouts are not shuttles. They are ships.
Yeah, they are.
But they
technically
totally
stuff.
are.
This
though.
was bigger than a runabout.
Yeah, it was bigger than a runabout, but yeah. The set didn't show.
Or
it,
could
but-
you be
Time
more
for some
specific?
sabotage.
I love the lighting on the floor. I just noticed it. Really well done. The way it's like it's a Defiant class. You know when you go up a level for the bridge.
My old friend, because that's his ship. He recognizes it.
Now he's going to go and kill it.
Yes. He would never. It's nostalgic. How does Crawl not know where it is? He crashed it there.
Still alive, my old friend.
Maybe he does, and he just doesn't care.
Okay. Radio is great. I didn't know if radio was very high frequency though, but I think everybody in the enjoyed this scene though because we were not expecting a rock soundtrack.
Yeah.
All right,
this
yes.
Beastie Boys,
Brace
right?
for sabotage.
Is this Beastie Boys or someone else? I don't know.
Beastie Boys.
Yes. Beastie
Okay.
Boys.
Which they played Intergalactic Planetary during the first Kelvin movie. So this references the first Kelvin movie.
Yes, this is the song that Kirk played when he
Beastie
stole
Boys
his
is
stepdad's
definitely
car.
double reference. As sabotage is a reference to undiscovered country.
Yes.
Kirk didn't even give us a long-winded explanation of sabots and like the French Revolution or whatever.
This is like at the Battle of Chintaka when they destroyed all the mines by destroying the central one almost. But amazing action sequence though to see all these bees explode.
Raffle.
If you love special effects and big movie budget scenes, this is something great to just put the volume up to.
They're still like impacting a ton of metal
Yeah,
though
yeah.
at a high percentage of the speed of light.
Shards of metal.
This can't be good for the hull.
Is that classical music?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I hope they never call it classical music in the future. I actually wasn't a fan of that line.
Well, what else are you going to call it? It's music that's old.
I mean, I will say though, in TNG, they refer to the Wild West as the Ancient West because it is 500 years ago at this point. So it is like
What do we call ancient? Like we don't call
so
Antiquity.
the 1500s ancient.
no, we don't. So the rise of
so-
Islam around the year 720 is the
Ancient.
beginning-
You're gonna go back to like Rome and Greece, right?
Like Bronze
right,
Age.
The fall of Rome is 410 AD, and the rise of Islam is around 700 AD. So anywhere between those 2 points is the end of antiquity and the beginning of technically the modern era, or not.
So
not
over 1,000 years ago, and we start going, all right, maybe.
Yeah. This is contemporary. Yeah.
Oh, he said the polarization of the hull plating.
Yep.
Yes.
Enterprise did have.
Now I feel like watching Enterprise.
I know, right? I want to see the ship go to warp 5 one day. Oh my god! And we see the Enterprise come out of water. This is just such. Well, this is not the Enterprise, but it is.
Franklin.
Wait, but
Yeah,
in my mind, I'm watching the Enterprise and X-01 though, because it looks just like it when you're looking at it through refracted water. Oh my god, we're getting like Spider-Man scenes with the ship tearing up skyscrapers. Amazing cinematography of this film.
And the CGI is fantastic.
Yeah.
100% CGI. Nothing here is real.
Really well done.
But the
Oh my God,
Franklin's
so
real in my heart.
NX-01 has never died.
This is what annoys me about a lot of like the current series that we have, Star Trek series, is that I know that this is a movie budget, but modern series budgets are ridiculous, and the CGI in all 3 of the Kelvin movies is absolutely fantastic. Like, you know, it's
This
some
shot
of the
right
best
here is some
in
of the
history.
Yeah. You never see anything this gorgeous, actually. Skyscrapers from every angle, and the physics and shrapnel flying.
And the fact that they got close to this, in fact, I mean, Star Trek 2009 is incredible for 2009.
It looks great.
I mean, if you think about it, Battlestar Galactica finished a few years before, and then we got that. Like, and Battlestar Galactica is great, but not the level of detail and quality. It's got the model detail, but not the resolution detail.
The 4K wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
Look at this shot, and like again, the skyscrapers and the giant air thing behind them, very well imagined. Like, I want to give an award to the art director too, because he really imagined.
Good to know the ship is buoyant. Wait, how did they get it up on the ledge here? It wasn't on the ledge 5 seconds ago.
They just launched it on.
They just
Did they fire the thrusters a little to beach
reached
it?
and landed on the top there.
No, I mean, yeah, it buoyed up onto the ledge like a beached whale.
There's your
So
whale
this movie
reference.
does
I
have
love
whales.
that they are all running towards danger.
Yeah, because
Oh,
those were all Starfleet officers,
Genuinely.
right? So they're gonna go help out and get eaten by Crawl.
I mean, to be honest, it would have been just as good as if they had this in San Francisco, though. Where's the Golden Gate Bridge?
We've
but
already
they did
had
that
the
in the
Golden Gate
first
Bridge
movie.
twice.
The last movie.
Why
was
can't they
San
do it in, like, I don't know, any other city in the world? Like, I get that there's a fixation on America, that's fine, but like,
It's not
that doesn't
it's
just limit
because
you
it's
to San
convenient for
Francisco.
filming because you're there.
But they're not there. They're in LA.
But they're not. Yeah, they're in LA.
It's a lot closer than anywhere else.
No, well, you could do it Paris.
I guess just because the Golden Gate Bridge is a recognizable American landmark, like Los
Yep.
Angeles, it just looks
Actually,
like a
wait,
generic
didn't
city.
they-
It doesn't look like anything.
Isn't there a mention in Voyager that LA is actually underwater now?
Part of it, at least, yeah.
I think there was something about like
'Cause they lost the
lowest
boardwalk.
elevation parts of the coastal cities were all just underwater, except
Blade-
somehow San Francisco.
In Blade Runner 2049, all of San Diego is a dump.
Shuttle parks.
Yes, Enterprise era shuttle pods. Wait, are those
So
the same
this
uniforms from Enterprise?
Yes.
Or I don't need your dramatic face. Show me the uniforms again.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
they are.
Yeah, that's Enterprise. Yeah,
I think the patches are bigger.
Similar.
Yeah, the patches are different. But this scene threw me off. It's like, why does she keep looking at this guy and this woman? And then I'm
Because
like,
this is him.
Because it's Idris Elba.
it's Harrison Todd.
Also, I liked in that shot they were zoomed in enough you could see the individual pixels on the screen. You could see the red, blue, green.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. That's
That
amazing
was a weird
CGI. That
cut.
means because that wasn't a real screen. That was a CGI screen. So they even they pixelated the pixels. Way before the Federation.
Oh, no, I
United
think this.
Earth Military
I think these are
Assaults.
real
He's a
screens.
Mako.
So I'm assuming. Was
He
he
was
on
Mako.
Enterprise, the ship?
He was Mako.
Ah. And then made
Was he
him
like
a
in the
captain.
background? Is there some character in
I guess
Enterprise
they
we're
were
supposed to
specified.
assume was Idris Elba?
So they definitely they say that they gave him the Franklin after these other
They
voyages.
they disbanded Mako. Yeah. Okay. So this is after Enterprise then. Okay.
Yeah, it's just interesting that it's the Franklin. There's just a lot of interesting things about when the Franklin was launched and
Right.
what it
Right.
means.
How long it lasted.
So the Franklin was launched shortly before an XO1 Enterprise. And it has
Yeah.
some guy as captain, not Idris Elba. Idris Elba is
Yeah.
a Mako who presumably went to help fight the Zindi with Archer, because he talks about the Zindi later. And then
Right.
after the
Millions.
Federation forms, he is assigned to captain the Franklin, which is rechristened as the USS Franklin.
Yeah.
Okay.
They said the ship was lost in the 2160s, about 10 years after Enterprise started.
Okay, but why would they give it a 3-digit prefix number unless they kept the 3 digits that United Earth did?
They presumably kept the number. They just changed out
Yeah.
NX or SS with USS.
Okay. But that means that's why 1701 starts at 1000s, because they're using United Earth prefix codes
Yeah.
or suffix codes or whatever.
Because I think the idea is like Earth was like the neutral party when all the species were getting together. Like everyone else hated each other, and then
Yeah,
humans
the
were the
mediators of
puppy
the
bringing everyone
treaties.
together. And so it was the neutral grounds. Like, yeah, we'll use their Starfleet. It's fine.
Yeah, and the humans like, oh yeah, we get along with everyone except those guys, though. We can't be friends with those guys.
I feel that every member planet had their own fleet, and Starfleet just became the biggest.
Because at least they do still have them. In TNG, they talk about the Vulcan Defense Force.
Yeah, the Vulcans still
Yeah.
have their own
In
ship.
DS9, when they play baseball, the Vulcans have their own ships with all Vulcan crews.
In early
No, that was a
TNG
Starfleet ship, though, with an all
in
Vulcan
early
crew.
TNG, when Klingons were part of the Federation, they still had the Klingon fleet, the Imperial Klingon Navy.
Yeah, I could never see the Klingons giving up their own ship designs, though.
Mr. Elba, I think you might need some moisturizer. You're looking a little flaky.
Okay, so
He's
that's
also
why he's
spitting
very
all
much,
over the set.
Yeah, that's why he's very much an essentialist, though. He's more like with Terra Firma or Terra Prime. Humans first, make Earth great again.
So I'm assuming by that he means he lost millions to the Zindi and to the Romulan Wars, because there wasn't a Zindi war. It didn't happen.
Right.
Well, the millions did die to the Zindi.
Yeah, it just wasn't a war specifically.
Yeah.
He lost millions
Well, it
to
was
the
a
Zindi, and he
one-ship
lost
war.
millions to the Romulan War.
There was a Zindi war. It was just a one-ship war. The
It
Enterprise
was the
did shoot
Zindi
a
special
lot of
military
Zindi.
operation.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Basically. Amazing CGI.
Reference to current
Where
events, right?
where else do
I
we
would
get this airflow?
Again, glass, actually
Yeah.
transparent aluminium, just breaking because.
It's dramatic.
But they're basically trying to get into the air exhaust system, and they have to fight through the eddies of the air currents.
Yeah.
God, flying a shuttle through this place would be a nightmare.
Right. In fact, so the funny thing is they use the word slipstream here. Like they follow the slipstream of the airflow, which doesn't make sense because when we talk about quantum slipstream drive, that means like what? We're just
Slipstream isn't just for quantum slipstream.
It's a atmospheric thing for the weather too. Yeah, you're right. The Gulf Stream is like this current of air that flows through the atmosphere.
Scotty, do you want to just like transport him back to the Franklin? Or Yorktown has transporters. Why don't we just beam him somewhere?
Yeah.
I want to get around using a paraglider. I think this would be so useful. That's
I'm just
amazing.
trying to fly a standard aircraft in the gravitational environment of Yorktown.
I've said it a million times and I'll say it again. Why would they build it like this? This is crazy.
Yeah. No, but even Kirk is just like being rolled around in such a comical way. This is really well done for the movie.
Looks sort of ferrofluidy when it's like coalescing on itself.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it basically is. But
Scotty, can you beam it out?
Or can you beam him out?
Yeah.
Well, he's not so important as the fact that we can't let everybody in the Yorktown symbolizes the unity of all the Federation's.
Can we beam a box around it?
Yes, we can. We should do that. Just a plastic box. Honestly, glass should work because when they fed that Starfleet girl with the cavity in the back of her head,
Jim, please shoot him.
The glass and metal hatch of that room was enough because they were just eating organic stuff like her body, so they could just put a glass box around it and they should be fine.
The needs of the many, Mr. Scott, outweigh the needs of the few.
I can't think of a single movie that does zero gravity as good as this. Not even Gravity.
But hang on, James' hair is still being affected by gravity.
Correction, blown out.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Data. What's Edison's plan here? I know he wants to make the Federation strong again, but like, this isn't going to trigger a war with anyone. You could have.
Right.
I think Edison should have done a false flag
open.
and like blame the Klingons.
Right. You're right. Destroying Yorktown wouldn't end the Federation as unity.
It's not going to make them a military.
Right. It's just you should have just built space dock instead of this contraption instead. Wow.
It's eating him much more slowly than Lieutenant Sill.
They had a crazy wind tunnel for this movie because Chris Pine's hair is definitely feeling it.
Why not? It worked for George W. Bush after all.
No. They're saying Yorktown was an inside job. Edison is officially a Starfleet officer.
That's true. That's true.
Just like Wolf 359.
Well, that one's different because Wolf 359 was an inside job.
That was more like insider trading, but yeah. It's not like Starfleet purposely sent Picard to infiltrate the Borg and attack Earth.
But they didn't do anything to stop it.
Bye, Mr. Alba.
Okay, one thing that doesn't make sense about this movie, those things eat metal and glass when it comes to attacking
Except
the
the
ship, but
combat.
they don't.
Okay, so wait, real quick. That lady on the right, that's the one that tricked them all. The dude on the left was like his lieutenant that was hanging out with him most of the time.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Thank you, Ryan. I would have totally missed that because I don't pay attention to CGI screens.
And this is Admiral Paris.
So the lady that tricked them all was also human once, and she absorbed an alien and turned weird looking.
Yes. They were good Starfleet officers. They just
there were two groups of people. There was like the foot soldiers with the guns that were just randos, and there were Krawl's buddies that were all officers.
So at the end of the third film, yes, there has been some time between this and the previous one. He's offered the job of Vice Admiral.
I feel like we might be skipping several steps in his promotional structure, but whatever.
Because he was a cadet at the beginning of 2009, and all of a
So
sudden
he went cadet to captain to
Cadet to first
potentially
officer.
vice
Hang on,
admiral.
there was an extra step there.
Yeah,
That is true.
I mean,
Still.
first
Cadet to
officer's
first
not a
officer
rank,
fired
it's a position.
first officer to captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't even get. I mean, he was first officer with the
Like 20
rank of
minutes.
cadet.
Yeah, right.
True.
So in terms of rank, he's only ever had 2.
Yeah.
He's gone from cadet to captain.
And it was Vice Admiral, not Rear Admiral or any of the other admirals. It was one of the highest ranks of admiral.
Right. So
Is
you're
there a
you're
front
jumping
admiral?
over- There's no. There's a flag admiral, which would be front facing, and then
Is there
rear
a
admiral.
left admiral?
Yeah, there's
This
What is
movie's
a
like
rear
Lord of the Rings.
admiral?
It has like 5 endings, and it doesn't know that it's already over.
And then there's also fleet admiral.
Yeah.
So the
And-
American. Do
But I gotta say something about the Kelvin movies.
Navy, Air Force.
True. They show leadership. All 3 films are about leadership.
got-
and-
Is that Mark Zuckerberg in the
They skip
burgundy
Rear
shirt?
Admiral. And they might not actually have Rear Admiral in Star Trek. I don't know off the top of my head. Then you've got Vice Admiral, then Admiral, then
They have
Fleet
Rear
Admiral.
Admiral in Starfleet.
they have read around TNG.
Yep.
Yeah.
So technically, by the U.S. Navy designation, he skipped 2 ranks of Admiral by the offer.
But that's a reference to Star Trek 1 and 2, because McCoy's like, don't let them take you out of the captain's chair. Or, I mean, wait, no, that in Generations, Kirk tells that to Picard. He says that they're gonna try to promote you to admiral, and your job is to defer that promotion as long as you breathe.
And
Carl Urban actually looking like Carl Urban knows out of uniform.
What were you saying?
I said that Carl Urban looks a lot more like Carl Urban outside of uniform.
Sorry, I meant the other person.
Jayla here is dressed like Captain Janeway in that promotional shot from the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But Janeway also appears in Nemesis, right? Which is a very good in admiral uniform.
Yes.
Oh yes, yes she does.
Yes. So I mean, she definitely gets her due promotion. They take her out of the
Telling
captain's
Picard what to do about the Borg.
Yeah,
Not the Borg.
yeah.
That was
Well,
the first contact.
After the other admirals read about all of her logs about all the murder she did, they were like, "You're one
Yeah.
of us."
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, but Janeway also has a great line. She goes, "The Borg, the Sona. You seem to get all the easy assignments. Just lucky,
Yeah.
Admiral."
I mean, between the Enterprise and Voyager, there's
that's
quite
true.
a few unlucky missions.
That's true. You're right. No, Voyager had a way more of a hard time than the Enterprise D&E put together. You're
What are
so
they
right.
looking
I
at?
don't
There's nothing
know.
there.
I don't know.
The new. Oh, that's what you mean. The CGI. We're
Are they
looking at
just looking at the
Iowa,
air, at space?
Iowa Planitia. Iowa
Oh.
Planitia.
Oh look, it's the Enterprise.
Yep.
No,
It's a new one.
we don't get
get a
this
shot of it being built.
Time lapse.
No
If
other.
the Enterprise is so good, why isn't there an Enterprise 2? Well, here you go.
What
Enterprise
happened
2.
to the Yorktown that was going to replace the Enterprise?
Well, it's
Ooh, they did put the Dash A on it.
they did.
Yep.
Nobody else shows the construction of the Enterprise scene. This movie rules for that reason.
What the fuck is a Dominion War?
I really like this going through the whole crew to do the
Yeah, definitely.
standard speech.
Directed by not
I
J.J.
like
Abrams.
this movie. This is a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Written by Simon Pegg.
Wow.
wait.
And
I did not know that.
yeah. And also the ending CGI is pretty darn amazing too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Produced
this
by
is-
J.J. Abrams.
He just put his name on it. He was busy with
We're using next
So-
generation text here. Or something kind of like next generation text.
Yeah.
Green
It's
It's
Hand
a
of
very
Apollo coming
Nemesis
up.
style ending.
Oh, something else. This soundtrack is amazing.
So, watching Discovery
un-
next?
Yes.
Until we get Strange New Worlds, we don't get the redo of the TOS theme. This film soundtrack playing right now is the TOS theme.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh,
They did a great
there's
job
the
redoing-
2009 mixed in.
Right.
Yeah.
They did an amazing job doing the TOS theme because I didn't know it.
I'm just watching the
I
credits
really
until we
like
get to
Strange
Space
New
Hand.
Worlds one.
It's in here somewhere.
April
Oh, there's
Webster did all the
Mustafar.
casting.
Nice.
John Cho, Simon Pegg, Chris Pine. Got third billing is as the captain.
Wow. So this is
Zachary
definitely an
Quinto.
ensemble cast if there ever was one.
So Sedana plus Carl Urban.
Who was first then?
It was Simon Pegg and Sulu, I think.
Oh wow. That they're bigger than Chris
What
Pine.
was that
apparently?
planet we just passed by? Green Hand. There it is.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that's Vulcan.
And Skydance, who are now going to be
Did it just say Alba
Star Trek
Pictures?
with Paramount.
Sure.
And Bad Robot, which is JJ's production company.
Yeah.
Sneaky Shark production.
Lots of production studios involved in this one. They needed lots of people to
Oh,
get it off
there's
the
the ship
ground.
again.
That's really cute. How they had the ship followed around through the
Oh,
nebula.
but now it looks all small.
Yeah, but that's a giant nebula that the whole ship was taking place. That the whole movie was taking place in. It's really well done.
Well, now
did
the
we run
question
out of
is, was that
CGI
the
for the
old
rest of the
ship
credits?
model or
Oh,
the new ship
Leonard
model?
Nimoy.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Anton.
for
Yelchin.
Anton. So much to cry about.
Which is blatantly a lie. They didn't make this movie for him. That was added in after the fact.
They did that in Doctor Who yesterday, where Russell something, I've forgotten his name, but they put it in, and it's a very short bit at the end of in for him or something like that. Like, you added that this week.
But
it does feel a little bit disingenuous when you add it
End credit scene where Khan isn't
literally
dead.
in the week or literally just after. Like,
That's true.
Sure, if it's sometime during the production of the film,
Right.
fine.
But
But if
before
it's
you-
already been released and it's already planned for release, it kind of feels like you're just adding in the name for the sake of adding in the name.
Yeah, for the fan service, but yeah.
No, it's expected.
Yeah.
Starfleet. Wait. Stop. Everyone stop. Look right here. Do you see what this says? Starfleet official Jeff Bezos.
No way.
What?
He loves Star Trek.
Wow.
He loves Star Trek.
He was
Why is
in.
Jeff
He was in
Bezos
the
in
movie.
this?
Yeah, he was in the last scene with everyone.
Did he pay to be in it?
Wait, hang on. We're
Is
scrolling
he the
back.
guy? I was like, is that Jesse? Is that Jesse? Is
not
that
that far,
Mark
not that far.
Zuckerberg? It's the party, right?
Yeah.
Where are you, Jeff?
He's.
I guess when you were asking, is that Mark Zuckerberg? There was a billionaire in the room.
I think he's in here.
And for all you know, they probably might have cut him out.
Does anyone here look Bezos-y? I don't think so, because
Bald?
Bezos
There's
is
no
bald,
bald?
right? And that's
Not
not
really. No.
There's no bald guy that I see.
No, maybe he's not in.
All right, hang on.
I'll have
I'm
to
just
figure
gonna
out.
Google it.
Yeah,
Yeah, like where is he hiding?
Good
He might be
Where
one
are
of the
you, Jeff?
crew. He might
Where's
be in one of the
Zuckerberg?
crew shots on the planet.
Oh, okay. Okay. He doesn't
is he,
play a
like,
human.
Ah, no way.
Apparently, this is him. Apparently.
Huh.
Would you put in the Discord chat?
It's
Yeah.
already there, man. What do you want?
Sorry.
Also, the ice cream truck is here, in case you were curious. Apparently,
I don't
that's
see
Jeff
it,
Bezos.
but sure.
All right, we have solved the mystery.
More billionaires.
So-
in our movies.
That's all the Kelvin stuff. Let me go ahead and change over the schedule stuff. Did I do that right? Yes. Okay. So next week
Where was
we're
he?
going to start
I
Discovery.
mean, at least he's an alien and not himself.
Thank you, Ryan.
If he
Thank you,
were
chat.
himself, he would have been the antagonist. He would have been the villain.
It'd been a good Nero.
So next week we're starting Discovery, and then once we're done with Discovery, we're going to go into Prodigy.
Yep.
And then Lower Decks should be done by then, so we'll go into Lower Decks after that. Okay. Oh, we also need to do Picard.
Yeah.
Maybe Prodigy, Picard, Lower Decks, so we're splitting up the animated shows.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Not really important, though. We'll get to it. But we're done. Everybody go away.
Have a lovely weekend. Well, evening.
And we ended with 21 noted references.
Weekend is over.